Where it rolls.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Washington Redskins and the San Francisco 49ers. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run it now out of the gun. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Almost unstoppable on the ground there, as that one is good for 39. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. Throw right side taken in by Pettis. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And this is going to be incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
And it's no good. And by just a whisker, this remains a scoreless game. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
First carry for Darius Geis. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. He'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jaquiski Tartt. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
Garoppolo now. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
He'll drop to throw. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath. Nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll look to throw. He uncorks it for Snead. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Garoppolo on 1st down. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Wide open receiver complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Give him 30 yards there.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
On first down, this is Geis. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. They'll set up a throw. It's complete to Snead. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. The kick by Sanders is good. And it's 3-0 as the Redskins strike first. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me.
And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well, and big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. Over the middle, he finds pass complete. And now a fumble. The ball's out. But an alert 49er able to gain possession, so they will indeed hold on to the pigskin. Garoppolo now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. The tackle by Robert Quinn.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Garoppolo. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
So out now come the Redskins. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Brought in left side by Snead. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. The Redskins on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. To play in a tightly contested first half. Back with more after this. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Caught right side, it's Snead. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw now on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Richardson finding room to the 20. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Back to throw here. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. Third down now.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The Redskins on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 17.
Here we go now. Blue landing. Blue landing.
Now back to throw. And that is incomplete. Adrian Colbert, he was right there in coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10.
One, Omaha.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Garoppolo to throw on second down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
The Niners on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. On the crossing route, complete. It's Richardson. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout.
Leopard! Leopard! Gone! 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 Gone!
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to float this one deep right side. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. They start the second half with a run by Geis. Room to run past midfield. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Geis, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins are able to strike for 6. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. Pass incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And now another one thrown incomplete. It was DJ Swearinger right there on the coverage.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Now it's Crowder. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. He'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Richardson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. Looking to throw. And he drops this off to Townsend, complete. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Dumps it off for Geist. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And that'll set them back 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Flat 80! 80! Get hot!
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
On second down, here's Garoppolo. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. Garoppolo to his tight end, Kittle, for a Niner first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Garoppolo now. 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. On play action, it's Garoppolo. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Garoppolo to try again on second down. Deep ball for Goodwin. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. They'll go for it. It's Garoppolo. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Swearinger. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll start things on 1st down with Bo Scarborough. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. He'll look to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. That's caught inside the 20. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. A huge play there for Washington. 64 yards. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. This is Scarborough, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
He's going to get it running right. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Darius Geis, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. And he clanks it off the right upright. And it's no good. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
That one goes for 36 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Garoppolo now, first down throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. On third and long, it's Garoppolo. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Hey. Got three. 12.
Now Garoppolo, gotta have this one. Deep ball for Goodwin. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. They start on the ground with Geis. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And down he'll go at the 25. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a third down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Trying to lay one up deep. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And that goes as a gain of 37 on third down. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And that's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Back to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him to find him. Find him.
The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Gets this one left side to Pettis. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. On 1st down, Garoppolo. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Garoppolo again. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Goodwin. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Garoppolo in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Back to the ground on 1st. It's Geis. Finds an opening past the 40. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that. I
think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Washington, it'll end here on a slightly positive note with a victory, but there weren't many other positives in a season that saw them finish 3-13. And they will enter this offseason with more questions than answers. Meanwhile, for the Niners, they'll limp to the finish line with a final record of 5-11. And this is a team that has a few good pieces in place, but could stand to get deeper and younger all around. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.